Testing, testing, testing. Hello, you all. Perfect, right on time. Come on now, right on time. Okay. Second. First of all, hello. How is everyone feeling? Great. Amazing. This is an amazing turnout. I'm so excited for everyone. So first, I want to welcome you all to BSU's annual Poetry Slam. Before we get started, I want to say a huge thank you to all the participating poets. If we could give them a hand. For all of you deciding to share your lovely work, your lovely art with us. I am not a poet, but as a fashion designer, I always find the time to engage with art and find inspiration in that. So I want you all to know that this is going to be a safe space to be heard, to be seen, and to be inspired, okay? Perfect. Alrighty, and then we do follow Poetry Slam etiquette, so we'll applaud from here on out with some snaps. Can I get some good snaps? Oh, already the energy shifted. I like that. So feel free to get lost in the present. First, I do want to introduce one of our guest poets. I don't know if you guys know Dr. Tony Mixa, but he is the president of JCCC, and he is also a poet. So, no, yes, please, please.
All right. Okay. Dan, watch yourself. Yeah. Oh, you're judging. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. All right. The first thing I want to do. This is a little bit selfish because. My last college I was at, I went around and around with the Poetry Slam, and every year I'd say I'm going to write something, and every year I'd forget until like the day before the letter came out, and I didn't have it. How many people struggle with that same thing, right? Right, yeah, right. So right away when this came out, I sent it back to Sherry at Walter State, and she goes, oh my gosh, and she sent me this one that I used last year. She said, they haven't heard it yet. You'll be fine. So with that being said, though, everybody smile really big. I want to send that back to Sherry back at Walter State Community College. All right, to get us started, I will start with this. Even math majors get the blues. So truly, math majors are not very different from poets. We feel, we love, we dazzle. Maybe a little more scientific. We look, we see, we perform. Maybe a little more logical. Maybe. But our hearts still pound with creativity. Figures first, but our hearts still find equivalences in words. When we choose to add to the poems of the world, minus the heartaches that the flesh is heir to, ideas multiply, and the division from the world decreases. Yeah. It's all an equation. What I add up to is greater than the sum of my parts, and no less than my whole. So truly, math majors are not very different than poets. Let me sum it up. I am more than my major, and so are you. You can be too. Thank you.
Wow, that was amazing. And he's got evidence now. He's got the proof and everything. That's amazing. Perfect. Next, we have one more guest poet for you all. I don't know if you guys know this, but we have the pleasure of being with the Casey Lariat himself, Glenn North. So we'll have him come and do a couple of pieces for us as well.
Thank you all so much. How's everybody doing? Good, good. It's this is probably, good Lord. All right. Yeah, I had to use superhuman strength. All right. So this is, I think, the fourth year that I participated in this slam, so it's become kind of a tradition, and I'm so grateful that Catherine and the BSU and Larissa keep inviting me back. I've had one of those mornings, right? So I left the house and totally forgot my journal that I typically use when I know that I'm going to be sharing a poem. So I want to try something a little different. Those of you who are willing and able, if you wouldn't mind pulling out your phones, or you can use whatever electronic device you have. And in Google Images, I would like for you to look up Eruption of Vesuvius, Vesuvius. It's by Sebastian Paether, a landscape painter. And just when you find it, just say, yeah. All right. And if somebody next to you doesn't have it, would you let them check it out? But Eruption of Vesuvius is in the Nelson Atkins Museum of Art's Impressionist Gallery. And several years ago, I was commissioned to write a poem in response to this particular painting when they opened that Impressionist gallery. And so this kind of poem is called an ekphrastic poem. An ekphrastic poem is a poem that's written in response to a visual image or a painting. And so if you look at the image, there's really some cool things happening. On the left side is kind of calm and serene. You've got a full moon over this beautiful body of water. But then to the right, you got the eruption of Vesuvius. And if you are familiar with the movie 70 AD, it was about the eruption of Vesuvius and the fall of Pompeii. And I say all that to say that many people viewed that as judgment on Pompeii because Pompeii had become very materialistic. It was an oligarchy of sorts. The people who were poor were not given the kind of care and concern that they deserved. And so this eruption of Vesuvius, many say, was judgment on a country that had fallen into materialism and consumerism and all of those things. And to me, that sounds kind of familiar in terms of what's going on today. And so I wanted you to be able to look at the image while I find the poem on my phone here. All right. I'm coming. Yeah, I'm looking in my next manuscript. So hopefully one day you'll be able to actually purchase a copy of this poem in an actual book. Yeah. All right, here we go. Thank you all for being so patient. So this poem, inspired by this incredible painting, is called Break, Blow, Burn, or Self-Portrait as the Eruption of Vesuvius, or who would have thought it, how a 19th century English landscape painter inspired a 21st century Black poet. Opens with two quotes, one from scripture. And this is the condemnation, that light is come into the world, and men love darkness rather than light, because their deeds were evil. John 3:19. Second quote, Negroes, sweet and gentle, soft and kind, beware the day they change their mind. Langston Hughes. Much like Pompeii, these are my last days. I lament and I praise as I encounter both aspects of me. I am a mercurial mixture of wrong and right. I am darkness. I am light. I am moonbeams sliding along the slick surface of a still lake. I am the quake and rumble of the earth's crust crumbling at its core, The release of fervent heat, the ooze of molten ore. Like tectonic plates, my impulses shifted rates that are massive. Beneath my skin, there are cities buried in ashes, civilizations that couldn't hack it. I learned that there's a price for being too passive. I am empath, I am slow wrath, not quick to ignite, but possessing a curiosity for luminosity. I am drawn to the light, which is what brings me here tonight. This museum gallery, this sacred space filled with Painter's brilliance compels me to face that which wrestles inside of me. A dualism, a dichotomy. I am water, I am fire, I am content, yet I burn with desire. I am clear sky, I am clouds. I am the believer filled with doubts. I am a young man ensconced in age. I am a peaceful man consumed with rage. Like a still lake, I seem placid, some would even say flaccid, left in dismay when they are drenched in a cloudburst of sulfuric acid. So tired of just existing from day to day, so tired of looking the other way, tired of the burden of melanin, tired of the weight of the skin I'm in, tired of being told to be nonviolent when faced with aggression, tired of voter fraud prevention as an excuse for voter suppression, tired of folks not realizing the idea of race is an illusion, tired of politically empty words like diversity and inclusion, tired of Make America Great Again encoded rhetoric with a supremacist subtext, tired of the proliferation of the prison industrial complex, tired of the media's machinations as truth subverters, tired of police brutality and state-sanctioned murder. So much like Vesuvius on this panel adorned with oil, I belch, I burst, I boil, I spit, I spout, I spew, I break, I blow, I burn, because I have learned I can no longer take it lying down. With a system this corrupt, it's not enough to just erupt. You have to burn it to the ground.
Ooh, it's kind of smoky in here now. That was powerful. Give it up one more time for Glenn North. Thank you so much. And also one more time for Dr. Mixa in the back. Thank you so much. Alrighty, I do also want to acknowledge our other judges on the panel for our Poetry Slam today. We have Marianne Kunkel, who is here as well. Snaps. Yeah. We have Tracy Neely, who is here as well. We have Danny Alexander, who is here as well. And of course, Miss Maya Lawrence, who is here as well. Thank you guys so much for being a part of this with us. I am gonna have us have our no phones out and whatnot, but I do want you to have it out one more time. So that way you can scan this. This just lets us know who all were participating. It helps us with funding and things like that as well. So thank you so much.
All right. All right, first up, we have Callum Snyder performing Brother.
I just cannot pass the wall that is you. A brother was so loving, hateful, too. You wonder why I'm quiet, mirrors there. Whenever I'm with you, fear is my stare. Brother, I wonder a world you can know. While I am fragile, nothing I can show. I have a truth to tell, but my path's blocked. Too bad for you, the world is unlocked. My name is Callum and I am free. I am transgender, that is me. I've stayed timid to meet your eyes. Now I am out, no more burning inside. Oh, dear brother of mine, for the past 5 years, my life has been a lie. I need out of these chains and I see the light. You will never love me. I won't turn back. This is my flight.
All right, that was really good. I like that. All right, next up we have Ariana Salas performing Why Am I Like This?
Hi guys. Unlike these other people before me, I am vertically challenged, so I am gonna move this. Okay, so my poem is a bit short, but it does involve some help from you guys. So I'm gonna need y'all to snap on beats. Can we accomplish that? I'm gonna start it. Okay, we gonna go like. Why am I like this? Why don't I feel good today? I did everything I was supposed to. 8 hours of sleep and had vitamin D like I was told to. Drinking herbal tea like old folks do. It's getting hard to believe there's not something wrong with me. How can I be what I'm supposed to? 'Cause it doesn't even feel like these meds are working. Maybe they're placebos, but who knows? I know the things that are wrong with me, they must be chemical. Otherwise, why can't I be happy if I want to be happy? I just said so. It's hard to even remember the last time that I cried. Nobody I love has just died. I don't even know why. So let's realize when you look at me and my heart is cold, my mouth is closed, my brain is old. Sorry. You're asking me why am I like this? So am I. So don't get mad and say that I'm not trying. I'm always trying. Trying real hard to feel like I'm not dying, dying on the inside and dying to know why. Why am I like this?
All right. That was really powerful. All right, so I know most of you are wondering, so the judges are judging based off 5 categories. First one is level of complexity. Next one is creativity, human experience, energy and emotion, then delivery. Our next poet is Madeline Reynolds, performing Ode to Earthlings.
As I walk over grass, melodies of apologies leave my lips. I refrain from swatting the mosquito as she bites my hip. I greet squirrels and sparrows and spiders, how are you? Often I'll curtsy to trees and say adieu. Sweet things whispered to bunnies, dancing with bees while they make honey. I've played with deer, skipped alongside a pair of does. Foxes and I stand under the moon's glow, looking up on our tiptoes. The lynx let me admire her for a whole dozen blinks. So if I see flowers wilting, I cannot stop to think. For that last bit of living and all forms of life, if I bear witness, I fill with grief and strife. It causes my heart to bleed, a plunge led by knife. I just hope that they felt love and enjoyed their time. Any life has equal worth to mine. Now, most Homo sapiens will not agree, but the majority of Earth's persons are not even human to me. Moments of kindness and being together are all I can give my Mother Earth's fellow kids. And when I go, I pray they know that they were adored by me, their sister, Maddie.
That was really good. Let's give it up again. All right, next up we have Saad performing Sinner.
Faisal, but I go under the pen name Saad, S-A-A-D. Good afternoon, everyone. So, my name, a lot of you know me as Faisal or Sal or Sally, but actually I go by the pen name Saad Al-Ghad. Today, this piece is one that means a lot to me, and I hope you all enjoy. You know, my skin stretched like theirs. I was merely a person like them. My heart endured like theirs, yet they called me a sinner unlike them. I couldn't comprehend, to bend logic to why this need for disdain, to rip skin, puppet me with my veins, all to play a comedy with my pain. They said mistake, like lead through the pump that was yearning death. My existence became a misstep, no value on any lively wealth. Sinner, yet this sin was no bother. A crystal prism of this now shattered pump. God help me and free me from the pother. Let me live a life that is full and plump. Am I a sinner or is this a slump? I used to call them my brothers, or are they wrong? Are they not? Am I a sinner? Am I the demon they yell with such rigor? Am I mistaken in this piece of my identity? Am I right, or is this peculiarity? Is the nature in the man that I lack fact? Am I confused, a fusion of media and twisted views? Or is it that I'm a person of different hues, simply rejected from the sheets that embroidered me, picking the threads of my name off the mahogany, pulled the traces of my history, put me as John Doe to keep my story in anonymity, while done so simply. So what is going on? Am I a sinner? Could I figure this out before dinner? Am I a good person or are they right? I'm not the only one. I can't be. This isn't right. Please, God, for the life of me, let me be right. Do I know what I'm doing? Or is it outright delusion, a pretend to confusion? For what is the solution? For am I the solution? For am I running to dissolution? For is this a mistake? For am I even doing right? What am I even doing? Do I still have flesh? Am I still a human? Am I still a man? I am a sinner, plated and prepared for your fistful dinner. Garnish me with bruises and spatter as you now have me on the platter. I am a sinner. Misguided desires that should be corrected before the chatter. A distasteful stain on your worldly scatter. The lack of humanity that makes the world shatter. I am a sinner. My choice is final. Let me endure the injure of my repercussion while I be the person I am after. Thank you.
All right. Sorry if I butchered this, but next up we have Mahaya, performing Paper Rolled Tobacco. All right, let's give it up.
My name is Mahaya, and I'm performing Paper Rolled Tobacco. The smell of cigarettes take over my nostrils. It's familiar, bittersweet. I want to plug my nose and inhale the scent at the same time. It disgusts me. It lingers everywhere. Clothes, teeth, lungs, you, and now we're driving down the highway and it lingers more than ever. You're rolling up your cigarette and steering the wheel with your knees. Your truck is small and red. I'm small as well. I'm gonna quit soon. And to go with the flow of things, I say I believe you, though we both know I don't, though we both know you can't. The atmosphere is gray, and your teeth reflect your habit. Your gut, too. The taste of something sour will forever coat your tongue, and a haze will remain over your eyes. Some candle blowing later, I'll be 16 and find myself with a guy kinda like you. And by 17, I'll know I love him. Here, I'm shy and naive, and his callous fingers will trace my face, choosing to believe it's from guitar, accepting it's not. My curls are shriveled in the corner of his bed, uncared for and dry. He'll tell me he's gonna quit soon. I don't know if I believe him, but I tell him I do. I'll remove my shirt, letting him burn his cigarettes out on my back, and in the midst of martyring myself in the fear that this guy I love will leave me, I'll come to the conclusion that a youthful, abandoned daughter will somehow find herself with guys kind of like her father.
That was amazing. Thank you so much. Here, I'm going to let you have this one. That was amazing. I love that. One more time, snaps for her. I want to give you guys a little insight to what the judges do while they're doing all of their tallies. So as Dylan has stated before, they're going off of 5 basic categories. So we're doing like level of complexity. That's your wordplay, that's your onomatopoeias, your similes, you know, all that stuff you kind of tend to forget after 6th grade. So kudos to y'all, kudos to y'all. Some other things is creativity, your human experience. So what a place to be in that having that human experience, being in places where maybe you're the only person or you're amongst all of your people and you get to share that with other people, and your human experiences adding on to that, to your art. So I think that's so cool. Your energy and emotion as well, and your delivery. So how the poets are coming and delivering their poems, and it just lets you know how intentional every word is that comes out of their mouth. So again, to all of the poets that are here, I do not take it for granted, because I know whenever I have to do a final project with my designs, it's kind of vulnerable. You're like, oh, I hope they don't, see my collar is crooked and things like that. So the fact that you guys are willing to come here with all of your goods, bads, and indifferences and share it with us, I am truly grateful. Thank you so much.
All right, next up we got Catherine Holtman performing She Should.
She should have been a sister, not a mother. She should have been a kid, not a caregiver. She should have been able to have friends. She should have been free, not trapped by somebody else's problems. She should have been carefree, not careful. She should have known who she was, not who she had to be. She should have been heard, not silenced. She should have had love without condition. She should have been and have been given so much more than she got. She should live free.
All right, next up we got Colin Luther performing a series of haikus.
Check, check. Yeah. So yeah, this isn't a poem per se, but a series of haikus. You're stuck in my head, like some real catchy earworm. I'm still humming you. Love is a garden filled to the brim with roses. Be mindful of thorns. What is more human? Creation or destruction? I'll say the former. It's hard to find love, more hard for it to find you. Don't give up searching. I'm going somewhere. I don't know where I'm going, but I know it's good. We haven't met yet, but I'm writing this for you. I really love you. Do not be perfect. No need to even be good. Just try and be kind. How lucky we are to be surrounded by friends that can cry with us. Art is beautiful. The act of creating things must be cherished. She's like Medusa, turning me to stone with ease, just by listening. Love's a fickle thing, and yet, despite its nature, love's all that we have. We are all stardust that somehow came together with what feels like luck. This story won't change. It never has, never will. Shall we start again? You are Orpheus, faced with too many choices. I'll repeat, look back. You know that one, right? Success and defeat both have a hole made of dirt. Did you dig or climb? Love thy enemy. I decided to listen and then loved myself. You may not want to, but you have to continue. Don't let monsters win. Say all are welcome, and you will only get wolves. Your space must be safe. Hope's a currency. It helps us buy tomorrow, lets us live today. To guard against pain is to guard against joy too. Let's let our guard down. Thank you.
All right, next up we got Yanni performing Raise the Drums. Let's go, Yanni.
Sorry, everybody. This is way too soft for my liking. This is better. This is better. Have you heard the front lines? Have you heard the front lines? Have you heard the front page? Have you heard the people? And have you heard the media? Oh my gosh. NBC, TMZ, they have spoken. CNN, ABC, Fox TV, they have confirmed it. This is false! This is real. This is not reality. This is insanity! I'ma go crazy. Oh my God. Yanni's coming out! Yarno's coming out! Shirley's coming out! Let me rephrase that. Yanni's coming out! Shirley's coming out! Yarno's coming out! And to give a reminder, Yanni's a singer, Yanni's the player, and Charlie is the dancer. The music is craving, the bass is drunk, so my people, raise the drums. Now, have you heard Rolling Stone? Have you heard social media? They say it's pandemonium, but the world came for all of them!
All right, next up we have Bugsy performing Why Can't a Poem Be Lies? Let's go, Bugsy.
Whatever. Why can't a poem be lies? A sweet little treat to crack open like peaches in a can. Why can't a poem shut up for once? Leave me alone from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. Don't even knock. Why can't a poem take my hand? I've never feared personifications of death. Why can't a poem be sex? Frying meat in a soup of hormones. Why can't a poem listen? It is already a beast of burden. Why can't a poem keep a secret? Probably the same reason I can't.
All right, next up we have Paloma performing Violence is Violence.
I'm not that tall. Oh, okay. Yeah, that works. Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Mhm. People come into this country just hoping to make things right, for lower living costs and to escape a fight. But when they arrive, what do they find? Bloodshed and violence we say is justified. Murder is rampant, violence is near, especially if you're a woman with sex appeal. How dare you ride a train at night? How dare you look down till you're stabbed in fright? We justify killing, he wasn't of sound mind. Am I speaking of Kirk or Brown? You decide. We blame both victim and killer alike. He had it coming, but isn't that said to women at night? So now he invited violence too? I thought silence was what women were supposed to do. To endure, to submit, to not make a sound, while a man takes control and pins them down. And the riots. Wait, what riots? For a woman who fled from violence, who gave up her home just to live quietly, far from war and brutality. She came from Ukraine to start again, but peace doesn't promise the absence of men. What did she do but look at her phone, tremble in fear as she faced it alone, lower her head as tears filled her eyes, then fall to the ground as she quietly dies? Because no one listened, someone spoke out. Once, twice, 3 times he shouted it loud. Justice for a woman riding a train. Justice for one trying to escape pain. They called him crazy for speaking the truth, but what do you call ignoring the proof? Violence is violence, even when you disagree. Violence is violence, even when you can't see. One shot, that's all it took. We all saw the way his whole body shook. And when his daughter ran, scared and alone, you laughed and said, thank God he's gone. You could have turned off your phone, scrolled past the feed, ignored the applause for a violent deed. But when a man is labeled a threat, what's the view? One shot to the neck, that'll do. Women are threats just for living, existing. Men are threats simply for speaking, insisting. You lose either way, there's no safe side. To stay silent is lying, to speak up is to die. She cried with her head in her trembling hands. He walked free through the stands. What did they do but turn her away, hold their breath at the scent of decay? Cowards, cowards, the whole damn train. Had there been a penny, there would be no pain. If he had boarded a train that night, maybe she wouldn't have lost her life. I once thought peace was the goal with no end, until a man preached it again and again. But if a man of peace is slaughtered instead, what makes you think peace isn't already dead? Do you think this violence will simply end? That violence won't break us again and again? Yes, some need help, but help should have come when he still felt despair, 14 crimes back when he still had a name, before we reduced him to something to blame. Because that's what we call men who attack, animals, monsters with no turning back. Maybe not clean, maybe not fair, but tell me, was honor ever there? When will this poem finally end? It won't, not till justice stands. For those who were loved, for those who were known, for lives that were more than headlines shown. Charlie and Irina weren't the star, and they won't be the end if we stay apart. So watch yourself closely, be careful, speak slow. Because those with weapons won't ever know the future you carried, the life you'd become. They'll end your story before it's begun.
You gotta come up here with me. Thank you so much. That was amazing. I don't know how to fix this mic either, so I'm just gonna be in front of it while it's big like this, if that's all right with y'all. I do want to shout out some of my friends that I see in the audience. As you know, this is put on by BSU Black Student Union. If you're here helping out with Black Student Union, just give us a little wave. Thank you guys so much. Give them some claps and snaps. I also see some of my friends from Luna. If you're just here from Luna to support, just give us a nice, cute little wave. Luna is every Monday at 2, yes? 2 p.m.? I'm not sure if they're having their last one, but I go, and like last time we did salsa lessons, like it was really great. And I also see some of my friends from African Caribbean. If you're from African Caribbean, just give us a nice little wave. Oh my gosh. Thank you guys so much. And if you don't know, African Caribbean is having a prom. So I don't know if some of you guys are from the graduating class of 2020. I know this might be a still time for you. But if you want the opportunity to dress up and go out and hang out with your friends, you can go. It's free for students, yes? It's free for students. So literally get some of your girlfriends, get some of your guy friends, and go to African prom. It's May 9th. 6 to 10. Free drinks, free food. Not alcoholic drinks, people, guys. This is a school, please. Yes, it's not that type of prom. Come ready to dance. And honestly, keep it vertical too. Anyways. Who do we have next?
All right. All right, next up we have Birch performing Cathedral. Is this good? Or lower?
You can always put like to the side. Like bend it down a little bit. Yeah.
Are you able to hold it?
Yeah, I can hold it. Hi guys. Hold on. Let me get myself situated. Okay. Cathedral. The dragonfly I wear upon my collarbone is a symbol of my own, carrying the force within the crashing fall of the river. I'm never the one to let the world know the emotions held underneath my ribcage, but yet, much like stained glass, my body shines with the multitudes of color that cascades into the chamber of my expression. It is much like whirlpool of lights, bursting within and into the trees are my name, along with the soft chime of the wind I do not answer, the ignorant standing still. As the wheels turn and they continue down a darkened archway, my memories are hazy, lingering, and faint. Is it the late night wonders keeping me up, or is it the waiting for someone to take my hand and pull me in? I yearn for the one who holds my rotten cocoon close to their warm chest, their heartbeat ringing true just beneath the shell of my ear. This body of mine, encapsulated by color and lights, follows the creature to roam through the branches and roots of my salvation. I hope they find the solace between my pancreas and my fingertips. I hope the ravens see the shrines of all who I've loved, their names etched into the bark of my spine. I hope the deer stumble across the endless stream of unsaid words and read them with tender understanding. I hope the caterpillar knows how sorry I am for my foolish leaves and trembling twigs, and if they stray, like they tend to do, the portrait of my memories will lead them to my quiet solidarity. Thank you.
All right, next up we have Olivier, aka OTH, performing Colored Ways.
Give me that mic. All right. Short and simple. I got my colored ways. That's what all these people say. I'll be getting oppressed that comes with stress in many lethal ways. I shouldn't be scared of those who we're supposed to protect. Didn't even fit the description, so why is 12 trying to arrest? Did I rob a bank? Nah, was walking home from the chill spot. Baggy sweats and a hoodie, walking back with my boy. Robert was wearing a ski, just know that I was 13. Next thing I know, I'm on the ground, I'm screaming I couldn't breathe. Now let me send a message to all of my black kin. It was a war upon the race, upon the black skin. It was oppression up at its finest, pushed on all black men and women, and children was crying because the man said black was a sin. Sung our songs out loud, whites would eventually steal. You made it your own, that's dope, but still, it wasn't real. Negro this, Negro that, that's not my name. How does it make sense they trying to send us back, but who put us in these chains? Brother Malcolm wanted to fight, Dr. King had a dream. Sister Rosa taught us not either everyday things, but what's the schools forgot to tell was that it still isn't fair. System is broken for the colored, seeing they still do not care. Now let me bring up ICE real quick. It's 2026, established in 2003, before I was a jit. They think they powerful. They have us on the run, but I just look and laugh and say, y'all more security with guns. Hey, Mr. Prez, what's up? With you, I'm not too thrilled. Hey, I'm just saying if Mr. Prez was respectfully stilled, hold up, that's just my opinion. That's just how I'm living. But seriously, get this man out of here. Then we'd all be winning. Now, let me hit y'all with this self-flow score. Z's up, I'm talking Haitians in 1804. First black independent, that's my flex. Now they say we eating cats and dogs. They treat us like expandable objects. Okay, now history's over. Just a prompt from me. As you can see, it was more than just a change on our feet. We getting tired of being put up on them stupid boats. Like Sister Harriet, I'll become a beacon of hope. Red, yellow, green light, that's a black made thing. Super soaker for the kid, that's a black made thing. Bet you ain't know about a light bulb, a black made thing. You know me, Olivier Sojo, I'm a black made thing. There's also streetwear and hip hop and rock and roll too, originator of the arts. We call it rhythm and blues, too loud, too reckless. They say we too ghetto. Now they say we lazy bums, but who is picking all that cotton in your meadow? All I hear is the oppression, all I hear them say is, They said we lazy bums, but who was picking all that cotton in your meadow? Let me send a message to all of my black kin. It was a war upon the race, upon the black skin. It was oppression up at its finest, pushed on all black men and women and children was crying because the man said black was a sin. Sung our songs out loud, whites would eventually steal. You made it your own, that's dope, but still, it wasn't real. Negro this, Negro that, that's not my name. How does it make sense they trying to send us back, but who put us in these chains?
All right, next up we have Jason Williamson performing If Then.
Hey everybody. This is kind of a silly one. Hope you enjoy. If I were a bird, I would soar through the air. And if I were a sloth, I wouldn't give a care. But if I didn't want to be a bird or a sloth, I think that I would like to be a mighty polar bear. If I were a fruit, I would be a juicy pear. If I were a toddler, I wouldn't like to share. If I were a game, I would be the kind of game where you toss a ring around a bottle at the fair. If I realized I was going insane, pretending that I was a carnival game, if I wrote a poem where the format was the same, could there be something wrong with my brain? If I couldn't break this endless refrain, I'd be stuck here writing this poem of shame. If predictable is how I remain, I'd still be tangled in these hypothetical chains. If I were to die, I would not be here nor there. If I were to change, I don't know how I'd prepare. If I say the word if once more, I'd like to scream, I'm done being in here and I don't think this is fair. If I want to flee this underground lair of if-then statements that I can hardly bear, I'll need to do something no one else would dare. I'm going to consider the present, I declare. I finally figured out my own name. I'm not a fruit, a toddler, a ring toss game. I'm not a bird, a sloth, a bear, or insane. I'm a poet, and I no longer write the same. No one should think too much about their fate. You'll find the answer, no matter the date. If you keep pondering your future state, you'll end up getting stuck in your head. Oh, wait. Thank you.
All right, next up we have Faith performing Escaping Egypt. Let's go.
Thanks, Twin. Do I want to be short or tall today? Help Twin now. Maybe I should be tall.
This is good.
I'll be tall. Hi, guys. You ever been so stuck in your mind that you need to rewind the time, trying to find out if other people's perspectives of you align? The pain I was in, it used to make me want to be thin. Now I'm trying to get unstuck from the mental battle within. They say faith is so bold. The sound of that is really starting to get old. As I lay in my bed, late nights, oh so cold, trying to find a reason that I shouldn't fold. He's my hiding place, a refuge to the refugee. Yet I still find it hard to bring him into my misery. Please don't take my lampstand. Please don't flee. I promise I'll find a way to invite you into my misery. He's brought me a long way. From drinking and getting high in the middle of the school day, yet I still search for the way. I don't even know why when I live in the presence of Yahweh. Asking you'll receive, seeking you'll find. Yet I still find that I'm stuck in the trap that I've made in my mind. They say I'm in the home of the brave, in the land of the free. Yet I find myself still stuck in my mental misery, and don't even get me started on where I am physically. This must be how the people felt when I looked up my ancestry. Black and bold, yet feeling that every little crinkle you want to fold. Working set for $7.25 every day really starts to get old. They say you have so much freedom in your life. We should lift every voice and sing. Yet they try to steal the notes that make our freedom ring. Dreaming and wishing you were in Egypt while your mind wanders about, waiting for Moses to climb over the mountain and shout, "Let faith out!" I wish someone could take my hand and direct me to the promised land, free from pride, free from shame, free from lust, all while addiction flows to my brain, throat flows through my veins. They say I'm in the home of the brave, the land of the free, yet I'm still trapped in modern day slavery.
That was amazing. I'm getting chills. I don't know about y'all, but I love Poetry Slam Day. Real quick, I do want to let you guys know this is originally scheduled from 2 to 3. They are being very, very gracious and letting us continue. However, I do want to make sure that every poet gets heard. So if you do have a class at 3 or 3:30, and you're one of the poets, let me know. Pull me off to the side, let me know, and we'll try to get you a little bit further up on the list. Alrighty, perfect. Without further ado.
All right, next up we have Queen Wilkes performing 2 poems. The first one is A Succumnary Planet and I Too Am America.
I actually don't think I'm allowed to do 2 poems. So I'm gonna do the spicy or the more sassy one. And it's called I Too. It's an ode to I Too by Langston Hughes. It's actually called I Too Am America, spelled 2. So it goes. I too am America. That's it. No need to explain. I need no explanation, claim, or justification. When company comes, they'll be greeted, seated, and reminded this is my home. Tomorrow, I'll still be here. And when company comes, I'll still be here. And when company leaves, I'll go to my kitchen and brew me some coffee, leaving more stains on the precious poplar and pine piece I inherited. Because what else would I do but be beautiful and unashamed? After all, I too am America.
Who don't know, Queen actually works in international Global Engagement Office. I always get them confused and they're right above each other. But Global Engagement Office, they literally just hosted some Japanese students as well. And BSU had the honor of helping with teaching them some line dances. So we have so many amazing activities going on at JCC at one time, all the time. Make sure you're getting involved and like you're getting involved and things like that. Also, did you guys know that when you participate in outside school or inside school activities, you're more likely to graduate with a higher GPA? Just take that with you. Just take that with you. Alrighty.
All right, next up we have Jonathan Posh performing Between the Midnight Chimes.
For once, life stood at a standstill. Daisies danced ballet on top of the hill. Lightning bugs scattered in the air before the moon. Swallows before sleep sang their final tune, and I'm still stuck between the midnight chimes. Fraying in the wind, life still goes on. All of the animals are waiting for the next dawn. The melody of life begins anew with I, for the wind still blows with a gentle sigh. But I'm still stuck between the midnight chimes. Clinking and clattering is thy life. No set tune a swallow sings in strife, nor any time where I can look up at the moon from below with no back end to make my own glow. So I'm still stuck between the midnight chimes. Rigid, yet, though their limbs graceful, grasshoppers spend their nights faithful to elegance, owls to their coos, flowers showcasing their primes. The wind, however, springing of life, whirls till the end of time, yet I'm still stuck between the midnight chimes. I wonder how freeing it is to be open, free from pressure and able to be free spoken. Instead, I'm only guided by the forces that undo me. All of my existence, I cannot be what I care to be, for I'm still stuck between the midnight chimes, doomed to be swaying in the wind till broken. Thank you.
All right, next up we have Ethan performing The Infinite Canyon of the Unknown.
They don't listen, they don't care, they don't change their minds. Like stubborn something that just won't budge. Like I'm the only fluid one in the world. The only one capable of examining his own beliefs. A stream in an ocean of unmoving stones. Stones intentionally blind, which would rather gouge out their own eyes and rupture their own eardrums than gaze into the infinite canyon of the unknown. The infinite canyon of the unknown, feared by far too many. Its intimidating expanse tarped over by sheets of ignorance and dogma, holes blanketed over with old stories and lies, sweet stories of hope and false promises to terrible tales of eternal fire and cruel gods driving mankind to justify atrocity, like they themselves don't know what it's like to be burned. Lies that belittle and contradict and kill and curse and sear and separate. Stories of superiority, national superiority, racial superiority, religious superiority. People lay beautiful, intricate tarps over the unknown for anyone to walk over. Believe whatever keeps them comfortable. But a tarp is hardly enough to support a cross over a chasm. And staying comfortable won't solve society's problems. Ignoring the canyon feels far too nice for far too many of us. Stick to the stories you know and learn nothing new except to reinforce what you already think you know. Don't look into the canyon. That makes you a traitor to your country or a hell-bound pawn of Satan. Just accept the stories of our supremacy over them and our secret wisdom over their heresy. That's how far too many live, in willful ignorance of the unknown.
Next up, we have Serena performing Aurora.
At the cusp of adulthood, whimsy laces the air, fragrant of childhood lingering on my graduation gown, whose hem is home to dusted wood chips, as tangled cords weigh my chest, cradling a heavy heart that mourns and rejoices a night that is young and old. Beneath the painted sky, swirling with the gleaming pink of a baby's laugh, the soft green of grass-stained knees, the faded purple of tear-washed chalk, and the shocking blue of my graduation gown. Glowing radiant, the art of the stars console the child, folded between grown linen, swimming in the excess with eyes sparkling in awe. A small grasp trembles, heavy with the weight of time, as reluctance slowly seeps through the silken gown and fades into the colors of the night, twinkling down at me as I shed childhood and take a sound step past the bittersweet cusp of adulthood.
All right, next up we got Jylon performing Midas Touch.
Sometimes I feel like Midas. Except a lot of times I feel like I come off as pious. See, I even have the famous touch, but mine turns everything to dust. I can't even read a book without watching it fall apart in my hands. A hardened heart pushes my end closer and farther. I'm a pendulum left swinging between life and death. With only minutes left, I take my final breaths as if they were hard to come by. Is this what my father meant when he said it only gets harder? He wasn't lying. Every other day, I feel I am buying something I can't pay for, nothing I have to say for my countless hours of labor in this world I wasn't made for. Remind me, what do I stay for? The paycheck that will turn to dust as soon as it comes to me. Or maybe it's the experience of being gazed and gawked at like a foreign experiment. So yes, I will run from thee. Back to my sandcastle, where nothing can hurt me until I'm too close. Thank you.
All right, next up we have JF Barton performing JF Barton.
I might struggle to fall asleep in the rain, even as streams slip from me and through me. If in this discord, light and pain, you say you cannot live without me. Great mounds of shadow and of sound, and all I want to fly above. But to this slideshow I am bound, and slowly slip, if you beg love, from me who still live where you live. I cannot leave now if you won't. Let go my hand, release and give permission that from here I go. Then shed your tears and kiss my hand, but let me to fulfillment rise. Bless the inevitable dawning time, and let me go with your goodbyes.
All right, next up we have June performing The Groom.
Hello. First up, I just want to say, he was 22 years old and I was 17. When you left me behind, you took the color from my skin and the light from my eyes. I didn't know what you could do, so when I left, I felt abused. But I never felt like I was a book on your shelf, something you might stake a claim on. I felt like I was a mistake, something you chose to ruin without hesitation. You never made me feel like a person, only something you hated yourself for. I never thought of myself as beautiful, but I thought you might make me feel so. You may never again infringe upon my body, yet you'll never leave my mind. Yet you get to live freely while I build a cage for my soul. I wish before you left, you might have returned the light to my eyes. Thank you.
All right, next up we have Grace performing On the Eve of Dying Sun.
Okay, we'll call that good. There are two children in the yard, faces wide with wonder, cheeks full and flushed like apples arching their backs towards the sun. A merciful damnation is one of love, a devotion of which I am the first to know. There are two children in the yard, and soon there will be one. One stricken down by the other to praise him whose foot I am under. There are two children in the yard. My children, my children, my children, how dare you take them from me? Hounds of judgment at my door, a dove dead in the garden. Take count of the skin hardened against the strife. Taut, worn leather, corroding bone. You gave me toil and I bore you fruit. Growing and running, your rageful blessing. Your anger hot like the sun we live under. Land over land and land over lamb, I have given everything to this land, repented on knee and furrowed brow till blood ran like rain, yet still you find me. What more could you take from me, my vengeful father, my man, hands hardened by land and confession, my womb torn and scarred, my children with hands raised to the sky, and I not once averted my gaze? Is this not enough? I sit and question the immortality of the serpent going round and round. I wait for its soft hiss in the night, the ballad of birth and murder, my seed to strike down its lineage, enter into the land of Nod, my Cain in this soft night. If you are able to wander, to nod off in my hands, the fruit and the lamb, I will hold you both for a lifetime, tuck you into the cavity of my chest. Here you will hide, a home in the hollow for you. His anger cannot root here. My love is the only root lace you will ever know, wrapped around your gentle, breathing bodies. The things I would do for you, you will never know. The things you have done, I will always know. Thank you.
All right, next up we have Lance performing James, Ernie, Becky, and Lee.
James Grossip looked at me as if we had met. For a moment, I thought I recognized the soft, careful way he had about him. And he looked at me as if he had more to say, and in the passenger seat, his wife talked away on the phone. I hoped that later on, when they got home, his wife might have set her fork on her plate and waited, staring at him until the magic of her gaze carried him off to bed, so that in the morning, he could stop looking for acquaintances in a sea of strangers' faces. And Ernie has a note he's been hiding from Becky, something that he wrote when he was back in Milwaukee, and he knows she wouldn't get it now. The sound of a young man in his 20s thinking how he can't wait for next year when his cousin will come to visit, so he can finally spend some time with someone who isn't Becky and her never-ending thoughts and questions about birthdays and dinners and her recent obsessions. But it's been getting harder now to find the answers to a problem that she never even thought about. Then one morning, Becky wakes and Ernie is missing. The bedroom door is open, he goes into the kitchen, and he's been gone a while now. Garage door is open, he took the car out. He's been driving down highways and bridges, never taking an exit, never changing direction. He looks up and sees the sky start to darken. And then he looks back down and he's back in his yard again. He walks in and sits on the couch and he turns the TV on to drown Becky's talking out. It's all the same, the way that you blame her for the choice that you yourself have made. It's all the same. You've made it all this way, and like the day you'll sleep and wake with nothing new to say. And Lee Gorgian didn't used to say much. He just sat there in his rocking chair and stared into the distance. And he had no friends except the wind, which would wrap him up tightly and raise him up to the great suds and soap of the sky. Life, he would say, is a difficult way to find a place to hide. I like to think he's still there waiting for us. Thank you.
All right, for our last performance, we have Nia performing Trauma's The Southern Ocean.
Okay. Okay. I'll do this one. Okay, just for context, the Southern Ocean is like in Antarctica, if anybody didn't know where that was. Okay. In the depth of the cold, predatory seas, awakens something merciless, a sight rarely seen, so powerful it's unforgiving. Only a whale knows it's devouring. An unending wave that greets you with a somber kiss. Icebergs laugh at you as you try to hold on to this abyss. You start to panic. You start to slip. You're numb in the water. Is this really it? Turning your head side to side. No safety net. No guide. Polar void is a witness to truth.
It shuts its mouth like a rock. The boat would have saved you. There is no dock. Sinking below like an injured dove. I smell the briny water on my tongue. You reach for someone. No one is there. The salt burns your eyes. Your hands forget what holding is. Even panic runs out of air. Adrenaline kicks in. I can see the blue. As a new person emerges inside you. Skyrocketing to the top, you land on the iceberg, and we say, look who's laughing now. I'm standing on you, happily.
Oh my goodness, so lovely. And doesn't she look great today? I need the shoes. I need the shoes. What size are you? It's okay, we'll talk after. I do want to mention a couple more things while we're getting the tallies for all the scores. As you all know, everyone who participated, first of all, snaps for you all one more time. Yeah, go ahead. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for keeping the arts alive. Yes. You guys are amazing. I also want to give a huge shout out. I don't know where Joy went. I think she left. But to Joy Grinsberg, who helped fund our prizes for today. So if you guys didn't know, we have a third place $50 scholarship, a second place $75 scholarship, and then a grand prize first place scholarship of $100. So perfect. Let's get some snaps for that. Or applause. I don't know. No. But perfect. Did we get all the scoring?
No, we're going to actually have our guest, Tracy, is going to actually do a poem.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness, Miss Tracy. Okay. Y'all did me so wrong. Alrighty, Miss Tracy. We're going to let you come and perform your poem as well. This one. Let her have
This is good.
Yeah, this is good. Okay, you guys, this is a prayer to Tracy. I pray that no matter the storms or tides that rise, God would always keep you afloat. And I pray you weather the weather, and whether things seem they aren't getting any better, God will always be the anchor to your boat. And I pray that you don't lose hope when friendships end and losses are more than few. And I pray you see the sun, blessed by the sun, that brings the morning dew. And I pray your todays are better than your yesterdays, and tomorrow's brings you joy and peace. And I pray the heartache that seems so loud you hear the beat of the drum, with God's grace today will cease. And I pray the Band-Aid holding the gaping hole today will finally mend. And the fear that has settled like salt to a wound today will finally transcend. And I pray the smile, now cry later motto you've upheld so long, today you breathe, relax and let go. Because those tears are reminders of how much you love, so like an ocean, just let them flow. And I pray you don't let situations break, people take you through, make you through, or turn you into a beast. Remember God's unfailing love and the Holy Spirit will give you inner and eternal peace. And I pray you be reminded God loves you so much, he died so you be made sin free. John 10:10 reminds us he came that we might have life and have it more abundantly. Our Father, who art in heaven, today I pray, please listen to my plea and cover my heart, protect my peace, love on me until the next time we speak. And I've had a lot of losses, you guys. I lost my sister, lost my brother, so a lot of this is real emotional to me. So, my Lord of Lords, King of Kings, you bless me with so many. My Lord of Lord, King of Kings, you've blessed me with so many things. Things no man could ever give. No earthly possession, no life he's lived. For when all things were lost and gone, my Lord of Lord, you carried on. You picked me up when I'd given up and no longer could pretend. With all the earthly goods I found, my life it could not mend. For when I asked, I did receive. Not once I begged, nor did I plead. My Lord knows me better than I. My heart's the kingdom he occupies. For when this crazy world's no more, my heart's the key, the Lord's the door.
All right, we got one more performance from William. His poem is called Choices. Let's go, William.
How y'all doing today? Wait, hold on. I don't feel that. Let's do it again. How are you doing today? All right. So, for my last poem, I made this poem when I was 19 years old, and this poem was called Choices. We all face challenges, the trials, family dramas, friends slip away, or point fingers when we should be running inward. To the situations we must embrace and transform. For every choice we make shapes our character. Who will we become, molding us and guiding us to make the right or wrong decisions. It's not easy to erase our choices, and we can't turn back time to change them. But what we can do now with the choices we have now is to forge ahead. For we cannot control what others do. To us, we can only master our own emotions. Choices are caves, uncertain, where the right or wrong paths will lead us. Yet we seek inspiration to stand strong in the decisions we make, for we must hold on to them and never let go, or else we fall into the depths with friends and family. Rise to the heights. Choices are a compass. Lead us to our futures or the brink of failing. Yet, whatever choices you make will define your life, and at the same time, you must rise above. For choices are the strongest will. Thank you so much, everyone.
All right, that was awesome, William.
Okay, guys. The scores are in. Okay. Yes, the scissor roll. Oh wait, hold on. Hold on. No, I got it. Okay, there's actually a tie for third place. Oh, so when I say your name, come up, let us all give you a nice celebratory, okay? Now drum roll. In third place, we have Ethan Grug John and Lance Carter. In second place, we have Faisal Kazab. And in first place, big drum roll, Olivier. Alrighty, if you were a participant, please stay behind. We still have goodies for you. We want to take pictures. We want to give you a certificate. So please stay. To everyone else, thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much to CoLab for letting us stay a little extra. We love you guys so much for everything you do. Yes, if you perform, please come get some pictures. Thanks, y'all.